So, this is Southern Will's car.
Can you tell him about it now? You see if you can remember what I've said. And
All right, I'll interview myself.
I'll see if you can.
Hi, I'm Southern Will, and this is
See if you can remember.
this is my NB1 MX-5 supercharged by Jackson Racing, a kit that no longer exists. I've had difficulties finding spare parts for this, and if it breaks down, I'm going to die. I put suspension on it. I put Japan Racing wheels with Michelin Pilot Sports on, and strut braces, and that's going to make this car extra stiff.
Hopefully, yeah, you got everything right, bloody hell.
Yeah, there we go. Look at me. Don't expect that off me very often. I'm not very good at remembering things. Anyway, thank you for letting us look at your car. Up next, we've got Simon's Polestar. Simon, we have a bit of a chat with you as well, or? So, Simon, what are we looking at here?
You are looking at a Volvo V60 R Design D5 all-wheel drive Polestar.
And these things are quite quick, aren't they?
Yeah, it moves.
Because you were saying earlier, what was it, 240 brake, you said?
Yeah, it's about nearly 240 brake, yeah.
And these are rare, because if they're the Polestar ones, they're...
With all the bits, with all-wheel drive and the Polestar upgrade, yeah, it's rare.
So
there's not many of them.
It's a cracking looking thing, actually. One of the things I liked about Polestar is they go a little bit extra on the body kit, but not too much. I think it's just that.
Well, it's just an R design, really, but
it reminds me a lot of old BMW M's, because M Sport used to be just a little bit extra, but not excessive. It looked still quite, and I think that's what I quite like about Polestar. And yeah, these are great, because you brought this to the last meet as well. So that was the one at the truck stop there. One at the truck stop. I've gotten so far without stumbling. I hope you appreciate that. Yeah, the last one you brought us to the last one at the truck stop, and obviously, I think, did you win an award? I think you might have.
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's awkward. I shouldn't have brought that up. Whoops. But yeah, no, this came last time, and I remember thinking last time it was a really good looking car, actually. And yeah, very understated. And I think Polestar, one of the performance brands that people don't really talk about very often, and I think maybe unfairly. I think it's a great got.
Yeah.
How long you had it for now, then?
I've had it nearly 6 months.
Nearly 6 months. You done anything to it in that time, or is it just?
No. I've had the cam belt done, and that's it.
I remember you saying you
serviced it.
You have to take it to Polestar to get it tuned or anything like that. That's only Polestar only, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it was a dealer upgrade.
Yeah.
You can't have them remapped. You can't do it.
I would like to point out, everyone, I've owned a Polestar and I didn't know that. So that's bad on my front, but
I think certain Volvos you can, but this particular one.
In fairness, my old one wasn't very good, so probably not Polestar's finest moment. Yeah. But these ones, I disagree. I think these are great. Yeah. Anyway, that's because the police used these for a while, didn't they?
Well, I think so. Yeah.
Some of them did, not the Polestar, obviously, but yeah.
Keep getting that. The police are using them.
Do you ever get? So what I had with my old Volvo is if I pulled up against, like, behind someone on a fruity drive. I'd notice a lot of the time that they would slow down immediately, think I was police, and then you'd overtake and you go.
I've had that happen a couple of times, yes. I've pulled up behind them and they've slowed down, gone into the inside lane, and I've sailed on past.
I mean, technically, winning's winning. But yeah, thank you very much for that. Thanks
anyway.
Okay. So we're going to move on now to the next one, which is Ethan's Del Sol, which is one of 2 Del Sols I've seen in all my life. Now, Ethan, as you can see, isn't here. So I'm interviewing Air, which is fine. Hi Ethan, don't mind me. I'm just talking about your car. But it's all right. It'll be fine. Yeah, these are a bit of an. So these are a Civic Del Sol. I think initially they were sold. These are meant to be a replacement for the sort of famous CRX, which is the one all the Americans love. Now these come with a Targa roof, which I'm told always leaks. There was a bit of a weird optional extra with these, so you could have this whole boot section lift up. This roof would kind of into the boot and then come down. Very expensive, very complicated, but very cool. But I've always loved the Del Sol. The Del Sol is, for me, one of the most unique little Hondas. It reminds me a lot of the Suzuki X90, if you imagine that, but short. That's kind of what these are like. But yeah, this is possibly one of the loudest cars I've ever heard as well. If you hear this in real life, he's got basically no air filter, so it is obscene. But yeah, that's the Del Sol. We've got up next, we've got, we've got Sammy Boy's MX-5. This might not have made it here today. This is having severe overheating issues, as it turns out. No head gasket yet, at least. He's also having overvolting issues. So at least I can say that this MX-5 is less reliable than my MR2. Not many times I get to say that. I get to say it one more time later on, and we'll get to that. But yeah, these are bone stock to my knowledge. 1.8 was the right engine, and it's NB2, I want to say. It's a helicopter. I'm willing to bet that's coming through on the noise, so I apologise for that, but I can't control the sky. Anyway, up next. Oh, it's Elliot's Jag. You want to interview or? So, Elliot, very proud of his Jag. Tell us a bit more about it, my friend.
She's an 08 4.2 litre supercharged Jag. She's been driven majority of her life pretty hard. I bought
Not by
it.
you, obviously. I'm assuming
No.
you drive sensibly like a saint.
Always, yes, within the legal ramifications. I bought it off of a garage close to me, and then they had to spend £4,000 on superchargers and assorted top-end engine things.
Yeah, that's
So it's brand new now. But yeah, other than that, it's had a little fettling with the exhaust, and that's it, fairly stock.
does sound fantastic. In fairness.
Yeah.
Again, another one from the last meet, and we had it revved up there. And,
Quite quintessentially a British muscle car.
Yes, definitely so. In fact, so British, this engine was built in Wales, and I'm going to keep holding on to that for the longest time because that was built in my hometown, in Bridgend. That factory doesn't exist anymore. But how many again, second stumble. I've been doing so well.
We've got a counter for stumbles.
So, this is how many horsepower? You said
440.
440.
And within the realms of a smaller supercharger pulley. Can we have it comedically so it hits me in the face every time we talk?
So, if you want to talk into the mic.
Yes, so yeah, 440 horsepower, and with a smaller pulley, which I'm debating, you can reach 500 very easily.
Because and in fairness, the AJ, as someone who used to build Jaguar Land Rover engines, some of you may not know that, I don't anymore. The AJ is actually a very good engine.
Yeah, they went on to name this the SVR when they made it 5 litres. So it's got a lot of history, a lot of R&D in it.
The thing with
luckily,
the interesting thing with the AJ is they actually discontinued it. They said, "Oh, we're not doing that anymore." And then there was so much popularity, so much call out for it,
Oh,
they
bring
brought
it
it
back
back. Yeah. So they actually still build this engine, even though it's meant to be discontinued. I think it was discontinued at the same time as the
we've just ordered
Defender.
a new Range Rover with the 5 litre V8 in
And
it.
they're only now getting rid of it for a BMW V8. But yeah, that's still an engine that's still in production now because it's a very well sought after engine. This is probably the
Said it's done
cleanest car yet.
92,000 miles has it got it, and
You wouldn't think it, would it actually? It is actually in really good
it's
condition.
done well. From
Fantastic car.
2008.
I will say though, one thing with this, despite being possibly the longest or second longest car here, I can't get in the back seat. My arse does not squeeze between.
They claim it's a
seats.
4-seater. It's 2 seats with a rack for your coats in the
Yeah,
back.
it's the same with my Alpha, but anyway. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Ed. All right, what have I got next? All right, this is you. So, I'm dreadfully sorry, I've forgotten your name.
Harrison.
Harrison.
Yes.
So, Harrison, what have we got here?
This is a VW
stand a bit,
Scirocco.
sorry.
Okay, yes.
Because Joe has got to be all the way over there,
Yes.
love him.
So this is a Scirocco. So this is the 2 litre one. This is the facelift model. So you got 180 horsepower. Not a lot, but basically it's a Mark 6 Golf, which someone sat on and put a big bum on it, and that's how you get a Scirocco.
Well, the thing is, I've always preferred the Scirocco. I'm not a big VW fan,
I know.
but I do love the Scirocco. I think the Scirocco is one of the moments they made something really, because it looks a lot like the Brera, but
Yeah,
which we do have over there, which we'll get into in a minute.
yeah. So I think
Very good looking car, I think, actually.
yeah. It came off the era when everyone was making coupes after the Mark 1 TT. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I think it's VW when that last bit of era where they were doing interesting stuff.
Because they discontinued this not long after, didn't they?
Yeah, I think
Because after Dieselgate, they couldn't afford to run it anymore.
basically
Or
the
something like
facelift went for about 3-4 years, and then they just stopped doing them because they didn't update it on the new platform. But it's an absolute gorgeous car, and it's yeah. I mean, I only had it for about a couple of weeks, but it's very, very quick. You know, I don't know if I believe they're 180 horsepower. I think they wanted people to buy the Golf GTI instead of this because
unfortunately, yeah, they nerfed these a bit for the Golf, didn't they?
they very much so.
Similar thing I think Ford did with the Mustang and the Thunderbird in America and all over, you know. Yeah. So it's a real shame because I've always preferred these to the Golf. I think these are much better looking and I think these are much cooler
Yes.
than a Golf. I think a Golf is a very plain Jane car. These are a bit especially when they were new. I remember everyone thought this was really striking, really cool. But yeah, so obviously you got this 2 weeks ago. What did you replace with this?
So I had a Polo Blue GT, also a little bit of a rare.
That's one you love, Joe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the camera is smiling there.
they're a bit rare as well. So I sort of have an addiction to buying very obscure VWs. But yeah, I mean, I like that car as well. It was very good as well. So yeah.
And for context, everyone, Harrison's actually one of the first fans I met in real life, because I met him randomly at Cafe in the Machine, and we chatted for about what?
A good 30 minutes.
Yeah, a good 30 minutes just about cars. So it's nice to see you again. I'm glad you managed to make it to the one. Anyway, thank you very much. What have I got next? We've got apparently the rattiest MX-5. I don't know where the owner is. Yeah, he's over there. You want to chat about yours? So, correct me if I'm wrong, you wrote this off, what, a week ago?
No, it was a few months ago.
Oh, a few months ago, sorry.
It was only a double-decker bus.
It's only a double-decker bus, so... yeah, perfectly safe. So,
Yeah.
So to walk me through a bit, what is... I would say what is with this, but what is wrong with it, let's be honest?
Rust, my light doesn't work, I've not got an alignment, it scrapes on everything, and it's just...
I want to point out he kicked it,
Yeah.
not me. So don't cancel me this time. I got big cancellations for throwing the parcel shelf out the Swift when we did that on review. Which I want to point out, if anyone watched that review and told me off, it wasn't my idea, it was the owner's idea, and Joe, sorry. So many of you have names beginning with J. It's a real problem.
This doesn't look as doggy as that.
Yeah. So, Jack, some of you, again, might recognise this one.
Yeah,
Jack,
definitely.
what did you do to me and Abby with this car?
Yeah, coolant hose split.
Yeah,
And left you stranded.
Yes, did this car blew up on me? I want to point out, my MR2 never blew up on me, so everyone tell me I should have bought an MX-5. Mine hasn't blown up, and mine hasn't been a double-decker bus, and mine doesn't overheat. So,
Yeah.
so far, more reliable than 3. Just saying.
It's relatively
just saying.
fixed now. It's working anyway. So.
Now this has had quite a lot done to it, hasn't it? Cause this
Yeah,
is,
no, we put a manual rack in it, took power steering out.
'cause this is a Eunice, isn't it?
It's a V-spec.
Yeah, so
Eunice,
this is
yeah,
a
yeah,
proper-
1994.
94? Oh, I thought it was 89 for some reason.
No, 94. LSD Torsen 1. Yeah, it's manual rack's a lot better now. Just put a Boffy short shifter in it as well.
What? You got flying me out suspension set all around, haven't you?
Front's fucked up
Ah.
because we did the rack. So it is getting an alignment soon, getting it all set up properly. The back's actually still set up and flying me out a fast road. Yeah,
As I say,
yeah.
I've driven it. It is a very fun car to drive.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I noticed once you, because the first time I drove this, I remember thinking it was a bit underpowered because you had a belt issue, didn't you? If I remember
Yeah,
the back
yeah.
stretch. Driving it since, I will say these are phenomenally easy to
Yeah.
control. I think you both say the
Yeah,
same.
yeah. That's 14-degree timing mod done as well.
Because I remember with this, if you wanted to go sideways, you just and it'll drift.
Yeah,
You
that's
could,
a diff.
Yeah, you could let a dog drift this. It's so easy.
Yeah,
Just and you want it to go straight again. It's absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
not that I would recommend doing such things on roads, as that would be illegal and wrong. But there's a reason why people love these so much, and they are. To all the credit of the MX-5, as much as I meant to hate them, they are phenomenally easy to drive.
And I think plans for it next year, I want to stick a Mark 2.5 engine with a VVT.
because they're a bit more powerful.
Yeah, and then get an ECU, probably get up to about 160-ish.
That's what we need. Because these.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'd be
nothing,
perfect 160.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for that, Jack. Yep. Right. Now we've got one of the Scottish contingent. Now, for context, we meant to have 3. We've only had 2. Come all the way down from Scotland land, very long way away. This one was the last to arrive, with poor old Duncan here at the wheel. Now, Duncan, I want to point out, lovely man, brought down food and cakes that he made himself last night. So very lovely. So, Duncan, tell us, what have we got here?
You've got a 2-litre turbo, 2-litre turbo Saab Aero 9.3.
Is this the B2, whatever it is?
B207.
So these are the engines that everyone was putting in courses for
Yeah.
all of the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a C20 is what it's called in the
Yeah,
Vauxhall
because
community.
these are properly quick, aren't they?
They
Actually?
can be.
Oh.
This isn't.
Ah.
It doesn't boost right. It
Ah.
rattles.
Oh, that makes me quite sad.
It'll go quick. It just rattles when it does it.
The one thing I will say about these, by the way, I went, funny enough, to Scotland in the estate version, one of these, and they have one of the most interesting interiors you'll ever see. All the dials are like, not the dials, sorry, the air vents. They're the weird square pattern. They're really cool. It's got like a kung fu cup holder.
Yes.
You press it, and it folds out in 3 different ways, and that's tremendous.
Tries to take your hand off.
Yeah,
if you
and
don't
night
know it.
panel.
Yeah, it does.
Night
have
one.
night pan- it
So I'm
works
assuming,
as
as someone who wears glasses, you probably find night panel just like me amazing at night, isn't it?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I'd actually, before I got these glasses, that fixed stigmatism. So it was
Yeah,
even
same
better.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Actually, people think that sort of thing's a gimmick. It is tremendously helpful,
Yeah.
actually, on nighttime driving. So how long have you had this for now?
3 weeks.
3 weeks? Oh, of course, yeah.
3 weeks.
So I've just remembered. So
This is the second one.
when I went up to Scotland with said Saab, it died up there, and this lovely man, we're at John O'Groats. I said, "Oh, the Saab is dead." He messaged me and went, "Oh, you can have the injectors for free." But man, they're like a 200 quid injector. The only problem was he was in Aberdeen. I wasn't. So, bit of we nearly chartered a flight, and I'm not joking, because John O'Groats Airport does fly to Aberdeen Airport, and we
It's
realised.
quite close to my house.
Yeah, there was a flight the next day. We were very, very close. Before we realised that it was the clip that had gone, not the actual injector. We were so close to just flying over to pick up the injector and come back, which was an interesting tale. That Saab went home, and I went the rest of the trip in a Rover 600, as you may remember if you saw the video of it. But yeah, I love these. These are fantastic. Anyway, thank you for joining us today.
The other one's still sitting in the drive.
Yeah, that way. So if anyone in Aberdeen wants Saab 93 parts, yeah, Duncan here. Right, up next we've got, it's 500 by Gucci. This is Saskia. I don't know if you want to. Oh. We've got Saskia, who has hilariously come as a penalty charge notice, the scariest thing we can think of. So Saskia, what are we looking at here?
It's the Fiat 500 by Gucci 2012. I think it's about one of 212 left at the moment.
Yeah, they're quite rare, aren't they? Yeah.
And probably in the best condition after some of the ones I've seen on Facebook.
I know of one, and I hated these cars for a very long time, because the one I've known in real life has the wonkiest stripe I've ever seen. It goes just flexy all over the place, which really annoys me. But it's actually really nice to see one in good condition. How long have you had this for now? This is
About 4 years now, so first car sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Still lasting me, learned driving it, still going. Had to have a new front bumper on it, so that's nice. The back, not so nice. But it's just something a little bit different for a first car, and a little bit slow.
It's one of those limited edition tie-in ones that I think works really nicely, because
Yeah.
I think one of the things I like about these, I don't know if you probably can't see on the camera over there, the seat belt is actually the Gucci stripes, which is, I think, one of my favourite little details of them.
Yeah, got Gucci seat belts, Gucci stripe down the seats. The leather is like Gucci sort of printed, little Gucci like gear stick on it. So they really thought it through.
Yeah. And it's really fun to drive as well. One of the things, even with no power, 500s are incredibly fun. I had the L200 pickup truck we have broke down, and as a courtesy car they gave us a 500 because that makes sense. And genuinely one of the most fun, characterful cars I've ever driven. Fantastic things. Has Abby tried to steal it / buy it off you
Not yet. I've seen her have a little look.
Be careful.
But
She may. She's wily, that
soon,
one.
so she's welcome to have a little look.
Shh, don't say that too loud.
Makes a reliable little daily for when the MR2's throwing little tantrums.
Of course, yeah, because this is another fellow MR2 owner. There's a few too many of us, and you notice only one of the MR2s made it here today. So take from that what you will. That means 3rd gen is the most reliable and therefore the best. So, you know. Anyway, thank you for chatting to us, Saskia. Cheers. Right, up next we've got the only car that just about made it here because it died twice on the way in. 3 times. Now, not the car you think would die, because you think a Mitsubishi Space Star was, wouldn't die very often. But come on, tell us a bit more. Come on, let's find out why it's died so many times on the way in.
So there's one very small sensor on top of the engine that's gone. It's the camshaft sensor. And
not important at all, obviously.
No. Yeah, it's starting to go, spade it. So it won't run for very long. It'll have about 10 minutes where it'll just doesn't like it.
And how far have you driven with that cutout issue?
Before it'll start, it'll do about an hour. You got to wait about half an hour for it to
And then,
cool down.
how long have you got to drive home tonight?
About 2 hours.
Oh.
So we'll see if it goes on the way.
That's not great. In fact, it's not the longest drive of anyone who's come here. I'm not the only one who's got issues. I don't know if you've seen Will's Land Rover, but that...
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute, but... Yeah, so it's the first time you've managed to make it. You've brought how many dash cams with you today?
A fair number. I have a bag of them. Do you want me to get them?
Yes, go on. Let's have a look. I want to point out on the Discord server for sort of Patreons and what have you, this man is called Dashcam Dickhead because he has that many of them. So if anyone wants to buy a dashcam,
I've got plenty.
I will point out as well, he said, oh, please bring your dashcam, I'll install it for you. And I forgot, and I regret that because I wouldn't have had to bother doing it myself. But yeah. So, excuse me, pardon me. How many mounts for I've just realised he's got one there as well.
Yes.
Are you a camera enthusiast by any chance?
Slightly, yeah. I'd say slightly.
I'm noticing from the GoPro on the dash. Yeah, you got a few then.
Couple.
Anyway, well, thank you for that. On to Tyler. Now I used to work with Tyler at the pub, so I've driven this car before, I think, as well. Nice.
I don't think you have actually.
Oh, that was it. I think you offered,
Yes.
and it was a no.
I think at the time, yeah.
But yeah, so what have you brought, Tyler?
So I have brought I believe 59. Correct me if I'm right, but I believe it's a 2010, 2009.
It'd be late 2009, early 2010.
Yeah. It's a 1.2 Hyundai i20 Classic. Very slow, but very reliable. I've literally gone
It's
everywhere.
not a common theme you'll notice with a lot of these cars. Take from that what you will.
Yeah, so it's been very reliable. I've probably gone around most of the country in it. The only real problems it's had is the battery that I bought it with. I had to replace that. Wouldn't really start when I went into Wales once. Nearly got stuck in South Wales.
It's because it's trying to keep you in South Wales,
Probably,
the superior country.
yeah.
I mean, a good country. I wouldn't say Wales is better than England on an official status because that might be deemed as, belligerent. Correct, though. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so I suppose it has got a bit of quirks, these cars. The history I've got with this car is I bought off a mechanic that actually kind of refurbed it.
Oh. Okay.
It was originally a scrap car because a gent
Fills you with
who
confidence.
brought it to his garage, he was like, "Oh, my engine's making noises," and he's like, "Well, yeah, you probably should I think they have like chains in these engines or something like that." He just refused to get it serviced. And he's like, it's fine. And then when he brought it to the garage, he basically was like, yeah, like you fix it. And the mechanic was like, well, no, it's scrap. You've scrapped the engine. He goes, well, how much do you want for it? He goes, well, you can have it for like 50 quid. So he basically refurbed the car. He put a different engine in the car from obviously another one of these cars.
Yeah.
So the engine in this car isn't actually its original engine.
So it's a much lower mileage engine then.
Yeah. So on the clock it reads about 130,000.
Okay.
But when I bought it, it's probably only done about maybe 85.
Nice.
So
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah, so obviously the mileage is really low on it. Not even broke 100,000.
And I will point out something very annoying about this car is I keep thinking I'm seeing Tyler around and it's not. It's just someone's nan. So the number of times I've flashed and waved, hey, it's not Tyler. It's awkward.
The first thing my dad said to me when I took an interest in buying this car, he's like, you do know old ladies drive this? And I was like, yes, but it's reliable and it's red and I like red and it's nice.
Now, I
like
will
the
point
red.
out my red car was quite reliable. Was an Alfa Romeo, so it was quite reliable for an Alfa Romeo, but you know. You were one of the people here who was actually seeing
Yes,
that
I
car.
did see the Alpha
I think
before.
you've driven it as well, haven't you?
I didn't get round to driving it, but I saw it before it pretty much KO'd and died.
It didn't die! It just limped its way to someone else. and
Held
it died
together
him.
with tape.
Held together with condoms. Literally. Anyway, thank you, Tyler.
That's right.
Anyway, we'll have to have a catch up with Tyler because I used to work with him at a pub. Have I gone too fast for you? Sorry, Joe. I'm back here. Oh, here we go. All right, up next we've got off frame. There we are. We've got Scottish Will. As you can tell, we've got many Wills here. This is his Land Rover TD5, which he takes it takes the utmost care of. Do you want to tell the lovely people at home what happened to this car when you arrived?
No.
Has it overheated and burst a pipe?
It has not overheated, it has just burst a pipe. It's nice and cool.
Have you got a long drive home tomorrow by any chance?
Maybe.
Is that potentially a risk for that long drive home?
Nah, I'd be fine. I've got plenty of water.
So it's a Land Rover. I think at this point, if you look at the rest of it, it is absolutely, it's the most battered Land Rover you've ever seen, and that says a lot. I think my favourite thing is the replaced sunroofs, which are, I'm not even sure that counts as welded. I think that's just seam sealed in, isn't it?
It's seam sealed and pop rivets. It's not stupid if it works.
Yeah, exactly. This is, I want to point out this man nearly towed a trailer for the Saab all the way down here. That's,
I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to be honest. But he pulled in earlier, he turned the engine off and then was like, oh, actually, we'll give it a quick rev, turned it on and there was steam everywhere.
That's Scottish water stream.
Oh, so you're actually improving the environment here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very hard
improving
water
your
area.
water quality.
Yeah, don't go to my work, I just want to live here. I'm not local. God, insulted. Yeah. How many miles has it done, Will?
193,900.
So is it running yet?
It will run, just not for very long.
And this is actually one of the few engines the Jag ever made that, sorry, I'm not being bitter toward my previous employer at all. It's what I'm going to get so many lawsuits from this. No, it's actually one of the few like really reliable Land Rover engines.
Oh, it's but I mean, it made it this far. Just won't make it back.
That's fine.
What do they say? If you want to go anywhere, take a Land Rover.
If you want
to get home,
get a Land Cruiser. Yeah. So now you're gonna go get a Land Cruiser.
No, they're too expensive.
You probably get a spare one though. Let's be honest.
I've got a spare engine. It's just in Scotland.
As long as you can limp it back, if it blows up by the time you get there, you've got another one, haven't you? This is actually, by the way, the man who donated the most for the Alpha Fund. So he actually has the Alpha badge somewhere in Scotland, I believe, still.
Yep.
Didn't you bring it all the way down for the last meet as well?
No, I didn't, because I didn't want this to be unreliable.
Is it in the car now?
No.
Is that why it's blown up?
But there is a Cummins badge now, so that might explain
That explains a lot, yeah. But yeah.
It's the AMG badge that did it.
So you've come all the way down from Scotland today along with Duncan, haven't you?
Yep.
What, 7 hours, 8 hours?
It was supposed to be 5 hours.
What happened on the M6?
Somebody crashed the Range Rover, so we were sat in stop-start traffic for 2 hours.
Poor man arrived 20 minutes late when he was meant to arrive like 2 hours early, and yeah, I would pat you on the shoulder, but you're over there, so hang on. There you go. I hope that's comforting. Anyway, thank you, Will. Right, what have we got next? So we got Ryan's Brera. Right, Ryan, you've come you've come away from Brum today, haven't you?
I have, yes.
So talk us through, what are we looking at here?
My Brera. It's a bit munted. Yeah. I've had it for about a month, about 2 of those
So
weeks.
question, so the reason you had to buy it a month ago, what caused this purchase?
I had a 159 beforehand with significantly less power.
They're really nice cars. What happened to yours?
It met a roundabout and then a bush.
Were you driving it at the time?
I was, yes.
In fairness, I've actually seen the footage because I think you posted on TikTok. I've seen it, and it's one of the most crashes because it's like that came out absolutely. It wasn't even a booting it, were you? I don't think.
Well, I did a little bit. I just redone all of the suspension in the front of it.
Oh,
got a bit overconfident.
Oh.
Smacked it up one curve and across into another one.
That's what we call a big ouch from me, Chief.
So I went ahead and bought a faster one.
So this has got, if you want to tell the ladies and gentlemen at home, what engine has this got?
It's 2.4 diesel, 20 valve turbo.
Which is, by the way, a 5-pot, and these sound awesome.
Yes.
One of the few diesel engines I think sounds awesome, actually.
It's about 210 brake stock. Don't know about the torque, but it's stage 2, so it's about 250 and 500 Newton meters. You get to move on.
And it is an absolutely fantastic looking thing, isn't it? So
it's helpful when it's broken.
Bit of backstory. So obviously, Mr. Twinspark, you may believe, I like Alfa Romeos, and the car that got me into an Alfa was the Brera, because back in 2016 when I started learning to drive, I had a Peugeot 207 1.4 Sport, because it's 84 horsepower, real sporty. But the insurance on it was $6.5 grand, no black box. And I looked at the 3.2 V6 one of these, 4-wheel drive, all the bells and whistles, and it was $1 grand. And I was like, So you're saying I could have a very attractive looking car with a big beefy engine and 4-wheel drive and all that, and it's actually cheap. And ever since I've had a hankering for an Alfa Romeo. One I've scratched twice, and both times it's slightly bitten me in the arse, but it's okay.
That's part of the experience. If you buy one, it doesn't bite you in the arse, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So have you got any plans for this in the future now? Have you got any...
Fixing it.
Well, okay.
I mean, I've had it for 4 weeks. 2 of those weeks it's been broken because of the clutch, master cylinder. I've got the old one still in the footwell.
Nice to have a spare.
Yes. At least 1 wheel bearing. Both
Again, you've got
both
3
the rear springs.
spares.
Needs to be louder as well.
They do a bit.
Needs
When you've got a bit of an
switches.
exhaust on these, they sound cracking, in fairness.
Yeah, it's got its little bits and bobs, but
I bet you're dead excited to have it, aren't you?
oh yeah. At 20 years old, having 250 brackets.
They're great little cars, aren't they? Anyway, thank you for chatting to us. And then we've got the last Alfa of the day. Now, it is my mother's. My mother said she didn't want to be on the live stream. I don't know if she still does. Are you still? Yeah. I think the fact she's dressed as a pirate, she's finding a bit embarrassing. Now, this car, I've driven this, and I've driven it perfectly. I've never damaged it or injured it in any way. I certainly haven't curbed one of the wheels accidentally, and it didn't cause a rift in my family for 3 weeks. But yeah, this is our family car, believe it or not. I finally convinced my mother to buy an Alfa Romeo, and she adores this thing. And I can see why. These are, I think, 280 brake horsepower from a 4-cylinder turbo, which, when I posted about that, people said, oh, it's not impressive. Bear in mind, this isn't like the top of the line sport model, so that is... I also think these are possibly the best looking modern car on sale at the moment. Joe's disagreeing with me behind the camera, but I think in terms of actual regular cars, these are sick. I don't like the facelift. The facelift's got really weird headlights. I think these are absolutely cracking. But yeah, I've driven this a few times. Bit stiff, I find. It does bounce a little bit, but fantastic to drive. Will say it needs to be louder. The engine is so quiet. It sounds good, but it's just a bit too silent. But that's more or less all the cars apart from our sort of selection of host vehicles up here, which, you know, you'll have seen these three because they've all been reviewed. You'll have seen little Freddy over there. The RX-8, that's Jack Thackers. He is one of our admin team here at Twinspark Car Club, I think there. And that's Harl's, and that's their Mercedes thing. I don't know anything about the Mercedes. I'll be honest, I don't particularly care either. Sorry, Harl, I hate to break it to you. I don't like your car. I'm glad you do, but you know, it's not for me. But yeah, that's everything we've got here today. I hope anyone at home, you know, fancies coming to the next one. We're having a good time here so far. I've got some lovely cakes that have been brought down all the way from Scotland, from Duncan. Fantastic time. We've got some sort of food also from Scotland. I don't know what that is. It's a mystery pot, and I'm gonna stick my face in it in a bit. What is it? Trauma stickers. Oh, show the stickers. Oh, right, yes. So these arrived. These weren't meant to arrive in time, but they arrived just today, right before we started. These are the official Twinspark Car Club stickers, available now for £3.50 plus post and packaging wherever you are. I'm actually very proud of these. These were designed by my very talented brother back there, Matthew. He got all the talent in the family. I got this. It's gone well. I'm not complaining. I think I could have had a worse lot in life with that. We got one way from Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. But yeah, if anyone wants to buy one of these, especially anyone here, please feel free to. They cost me money, and I'd like to make some back, please. But yeah, it's all going quite well here. We'll be having, this is the last one of the year, unfortunately, but we'll be having another one of these in February, so please feel free to come along to that one. I hope you at home have been enjoying the live stream. This is something I've never done before, so you can probably tell why I'm stammering and stuttering and panicking all the time. But next time I'll be more confident, probably, maybe, probably not. Don't shake your head at me. Joe, you meant to bolster me, man. You meant to make me feel good. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. We're going to now do the voting for the awards, and then it's food time at home, I believe. But yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm Alex Twinspark. I don't know what time zone you're watching in, but thank you. Good evening, good night, and good morning. I forget this every time. I've tried to make this one of my monikers, and I keep getting it wrong. Anyway, ta-ra. Nice talking to you.